So Trump might have an effect on the housing market, and perhaps in a way that you didn't even think about. What's that all about? Let's find out next. Hey everybody, Dave Edwards, Treasure Valley Dave here. You know, your great real estate agent by your side when it comes time to buy a home, sell a home, or relocate to the Treasure Valley. And why would you want to do that? Well, because Idaho is a fantastic place to live. And if you don't believe me, well, we'll get into that. But first, some of the mainstream stuff that experts are predicting that Trump will have an effect on the housing market in the coming year. Let's check it out. So we've got this story here from Realtor.com, and they're talking about how Donald Trump's second term could bring significant shifts to the housing market. So what do they mean by that? Well, what they mean is essentially what they have in their other report, Realtor.com 2025 housing forecast. So let's take a quick look at this. This is probably what most people think about when they're thinking, oh, what's Trump going to, what kind of impact is he going to have on housing for the coming year? So the Realtor.com 2025 forecast, key housing indicators, highlighted a couple here. So they're saying that they're thinking mortgage rates are probably going to come down a little bit. Looks like, what, 0.5%? So it's not a big screaming deal. That's what they're figuring. Existing home median prices are going to go up, but not quite as fast as this current year, 2024. But nonetheless, another one that I thought was interesting is single family home housing starts. This is huge. Look at that. It's going to be up 13.8%. Well, percentages are one thing, but the actual number goes from 1.0 million to 1.1 million. So it is a bit of an improvement, and that certainly helps. But what's the bigger thing that no one else is talking about that Trump could have an impact on real estate? Well, I'm going to put it like this. There's a lot of people in Oregon that may have to get new return address stickers for their mail. What am I talking about? The Greater Idaho Movement has asked Trump to get involved and help move the Oregon border. Now that's pretty exciting, I thought. So what is this about? Well, the Greater Idaho Movement. If you haven't heard of that, we did another video on it, and I'll make sure it's linked here at the end. The Idaho Movement released a letter Wednesday asking President Trump, President-elect Trump, past President Trump, it's all the same, to get involved. So could you see that happening? Maybe. Unlike typical politicians, you, Trump, have a unique ability as a practical problem solver to get things done, and your support can bring a peaceful resolution to Oregon's long-standing east-west divide, the letter reads. This movement, the Greater Idaho Movement, stems from residents of rural and conservative counties in eastern Oregon disagreeing with the politics of Democrat voting populations on coastal cities. That's so true. Could you imagine living in such a place where you don't have a say because the liberals, communists, Marxists outnumber you? Or at least it does when it comes time to counting votes. The Greater Idaho Movement's website says that only 25% of Oregons who are registered to vote are registered Republicans. So the left in Oregon has far more control over the ways that Oregonians are educated and just about anything else. Interestingly, Idaho Representative Barbara Earhart, she had previously supported this movement, and last year she went ahead and sponsored a bill that passed to go ahead and start exploring what it would look like if this Greater Idaho Movement actually came to pass. So is it going to happen? Well, there's some traction going on out there. The New American picked up on this. They offered a couple insights too. They said that Oregon Governor Tina Kotek had said that I have met Oregonians who are frustrated, who want to be heard in Salem. And yes, some of them might have voted to support a measure to go to Idaho. But it's like, look, I just want to be heard. My job as governor is to make sure that people are heard. We're not always going to agree on everything, but we need to have every perspective at the table. Well, do you think she really means that? Basically, it sounds like she's giving you lip service where, I acknowledge that you're in pain and that we're really hurting you and doing all sorts of stupid things to you, but as long as I acknowledge it, that's what really counts. Do you think that's what really counts? Obviously not, judging by the number of Oregonians that have moved to Idaho. And I think we could say the same thing about Washington State and California. So the head of the Greater Idaho Movement, he said that in the last 4 years, they've been going directly to the people to hear what they want. And he reports that they've made it clear that they want to start border discussions. We've also reached out to the Oregon legislature and Governor Kotek, but gotten no response. Oregon state government hasn't been willing to listen to Eastern Oregonians, but we believe the president will. So that's funny. Governor of Oregon says, oh, we want to listen, but guess what? They don't listen. They're going, la, 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 la. And even the mainstream Newsweek magazine is reporting on this as well. So maybe this is something that will actually start catching fire and catching on. So what is the Greater Idaho Movement? Here's a map of it. You can see over here in the gray, this is Idaho as it looks now. And here are the red counties over here in Oregon that have signed up to become part of Greater Idaho. Man, look how nice and big Idaho would be. We'd have all this fertile farmland out here, all these conservative people out here. That would be fantastic. And it's not that there's that many people, because there's probably that many people who live just over here in these coastal counties that, make all the decisions, all the liberal decisions. Greater Idaho, if I could ask a favor, could we go ahead and get this county too? Because I'd love for Idaho to have some Pacific Beach Coast property. Wouldn't that be nice? Well, anyway, but if you can't wait for this Greater Idaho project to come to fruition and you want to be in Idaho right away, let me know. Give me and Marina a call. We'd be glad to help you out and explain to you just exactly how great Idaho is. I think you probably already knew that. Am I right? So we did a video on the Greater Idaho Movement before, and you can find that here. And be sure to give us a call, text, email. We'd be very happy to help you out. And you guys over in Oregon, welcome home.